record. Okay, so how do you, I'm going to record this video because I've had a few people ask me what to do. They're a little lost. They don't know what to do. So it must be my early directions weren't very clear. So I'll do this again. So the first thing you want to make sure you do before you try to access one of these Moodle courses is to sign in. And I'll typically will go to portal.vsc.edu and make sure I get signed in. It takes you to this login page if it ever loads while I'm signed in. You know what I got to do here? Just a minute. No, what we're going to do is we're going to close that. We're going to open up here. Here we go. So I'm going to go to portal. Actually, I've got it linked right here. Portal.vsc. This is really nice. Firefox has really changed the way it looks these days. Well, now it's not loading. Well, we'll get there. Here we go. So you can access any of these Moodle courses without being signed in because we have them open in guest mode. But in guest mode, you don't have full access. You can't open up, as some of you have noticed, you can't open up discussion forum questions. You won't be able to access quizzes, etc. So you want to make sure you get logged in. And the best way to do this is to go to that VSC portal and you get logged in. I mean, maybe if you're Johnson, it's JSC. But I think the VSC works for everybody. And then, of course, your main portal page is going to look a little different because I'm a faculty member and you're probably just a student, so you don't have the same access. So, but for mine, and I'm pretty sure it's true for yours also, is you've got the current courses here. And I'm sure eventually these old courses go away. Let's see. Can I just collapse these? But I know they open every time. So, I mean, I've got my pre-calc classes and my 2 stat classes. I'm going to do this for the stat class since that's the last person asked, but pre-calc looks very similar. I try to maintain that. And what you do is it's going to take you out to the Moodle portal, which is learn.vsc.edu. And I think that's an important address to remember, URL to remember, because sometimes the portal goes down and Moodle doesn't. If you want to do some coursework, you can still access it. So learn.vsc.edu. And it's the same username and password, so we'll get logged in here. Hopefully it won't take too long. Here, and I'm damming them in. And what you're going to see, actually, let me switch this so I'm looking at this as a student. So, student. Okay, so what I have this week 0. This is the general information area. This will always be here. I mean, I might move some of the stuff off just because we won't need it as we get along, as we get into it. But here's the announcements. I'll send out a weekly announcement. Here's the, the course description and the grading information. It's important. Semester outline, what we're going to do each week. This is generally like chapters and one of the exams. It's not the details. The nitty gritty is down below. Here's my old video about what to do each week. Go ahead and watch it. I might replace it with this one. I'll see. There's a link about e-tutoring. I work as an e-tutor 3 nights a week this summer. That'll start Thursday the 31st for me. I actually do 5 hours that night. Usually it's only 2.5. And then I'll do Thursdays, Saturdays, and then the Monday. So access me then. I'd love to have you there. I get paid to be there, and I'd rather be helping you than just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. Here's an FAQ for about a bunch of stuff about the course. I encourage you to go look at that. And this old stuff from before the course started. Here's the introduction form. Now, I don't want to click on that because I want to kind of keep this confidential and use this from semester to semester. So since your students' names in there, I don't want to do that. But if you can't access this, since you don't have permission, you're probably not signed in. You're going to know if you're signed in if you see your name in the upper right corner. Okay. And then I've got the answers to the START exercises in the back of the textbook. And here's the answers to the summary worksheets at the end of each chapter, back of the workbook. So use them. That's what they're there for. And then each week you'll see, I mean, right now, week 1's the only active one. It's funny that week 2's showing up. I must have a setting weird. Of course, nothing's available yet. So, yeah, but I'll have each week, all through the 12 weeks of the semester, you'll see them all. I'll leave them all open all semester long. And then each week I have looking like this. And this is the nitty gritty about what you got to do each week. Typically, you'll have a quiz or exam to do. Week 1, you don't. And it'll be right here. It'll be first off. I recommend you do this first because it's always on the previous week's work, not the current week. So you don't have to do any new learning before you take that quiz. A lot of people wait to the last minute on Monday to get that done. I think that's crazy. I would do it right off the bat, but that's me and how I learn. Then I do what do you want to read? What are we reading? And what are some things to do? This is Dr. Stevens' website. This link, if you probably have noticed that this textbook is more of a workbook format for a lot of it. And here's all his videos. They're just YouTube videos. These are walkthroughs. I would skim the book, then watch the videos. But if that's not your learning style, go watch the videos. If you don't learn from videos, read the textbook. It's whatever works for you. You can do any of those ways and mix and match. Some weeks do different things. And so here's all his videos. I would certainly, I encourage you to look at these things. So then what else do I have? Oh, then here's the practice. So here's some ungraded stuff that you can do. And here's the graded stuff without a WebAssign. And you should have access. You should have free access to that for the first 2 weeks of the course. So I'm recording this summer of 2018. So I think on June 2nd, you have to pony up the access code or the money. And then, so you want to do that. And then there's the discussion forums, and each week you're responsible for at least 2 posts. And the first one has to happen before Saturday night of the week. So, I mean, because I'm recording this on Tuesday of the first week, that's the first day of course, isn't it? You'll have to have your first post done by Saturday, you'll have your first post made by Saturday, May 26th. And then you can make the second one on Monday. A lot of people will get them done right off the bat, and no sweat. That way you get them done. I encourage you to pick a problem, do some work. Don't pick problems that you have the answers to. Try to do some out of the other problem sets in the textbook that you don't have the answers to. That way, you can get some feedback on what you did, and it's authentic feedback because you don't know if you get it right or not. Some people post work for WebAssign. I guess that's okay. If you post work for things you have the answers to, I'm probably not going to respond because you know whether you did it right or not. If you're having questions about it and you don't know what to do, by all means, post about those. Even if you do know the answers, are you stuck? I mean, that's what we're here for. Okay. And then that's it. And then next week you'll see, and then I'll open up week 2 on Saturday. Actually, I have week 2 open on Saturday the 26th, and you can get going with that. Do the quiz, get going with the new stuff, and try to work it. I'll occasionally put these My Open Math extra assignments. In fact, I usually do here with some percentages. I guess we'll find that, and that's optional. If you don't do it, if you try it, you don't want it to count. It'll be marked automatically exempt. If you do it and you want it to count, let me know and I can unexempt it from you and have it calculated in your average. Okay, and I like to think this is straightforward. I've been told it's straightforward, but ask me for help. That's what I'm here for. All right, this is probably a long enough video. I'll stop it. Let me know how I can help.